What's up guys, All American Gamer. As you can tell, this video is going to be a little bit different than normal. Now, as many of you who are loyal game theorists know, MatPat recently released a duology. Well, actually, it won't be so recently by the time the video comes out, but he released a duology explaining everything he knows of the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. In the second video, he basically spends the entire second video, the entire 9 minutes, I think it is, 9-10 minutes, basically saying that Phone Guy and Purple Guy are the same, as everyone thought at the beginning. However, I disagree. Now, before we continue, I want to explain that I am a huge game theorist. I love watching all the theorists, Gaijin Goomba, Die Questing and Side Questing, Deadlock, Culture Shot, all that good stuff. I love watching all those. Game theory especially. Oh, I cannot get enough game theory. However, MatPat, I think you're wrong on this one. And there are a few reasons why. And it's actually kind of surprising me and shocking me and making me a little nervous. You say you spent, quote, I kid you not, unquote, days looking at information to try and figure out who Phone Guy or who Purple Guy, pardon me, was, and yet the evidence you provide, it's easily debunked. Nothing you gave in your video, except for one piece of evidence, stands, will stand after my video here. But first off, MatPat, before I continue, if you're watching this, thank you. I am extremely honored that someone as amazingly awesome as you would come down to the low reaches of YouTube to watch this video. Thank you with all my heart. And this is in no way trying to, offend you, or I'm not trying to offend you or anything. I'm just trying to say that I don't think that you're right in this instance. And here's why. You're gonna see me look down a lot in this video. That's because I have a list of everything, and I'm just gonna throw in some edits here and there. So Phone Guy and Purple Guy, according to MatPat, are the same. Now, he gives some reasons why. He says that they both have a love of Foxy and distrust the puppet. He says that the Save Them minigame is a wonderful piece of evidence, and I'll talk about that in a minute. He also says that Phone Guy is the only one who knows how to safely operate the safe lock suits and know where to get them. The safe room. And those are the three really big pieces of evidence he gives. And yet there is one piece of evidence that is so big, so obvious, that MatPat, I am shocked really that you didn't come across this in your days of researching. Because in all honesty, I formulated a theory that I'm gonna talk about later. Well, not the theory, more like the piece of evidence that destroys anything you said in that video, in like 5 seconds. I came up with the idea, and then I spent like 2 hours of research. I spent like an hour of research to disprove everything that you claim you spent days working with. So before we get to that, let's tackle the first one. Now, the first reason that MatPat claims that Phone Guy and the Purple Guy are the same is that Purple Guy is smiling in the Foxy Go 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 Purple Guy is smiling in the Foxy Go 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 minigame. And that would mean that he likes Foxy. Well, Matt, that would be true, but take a look at the Purple Guy sprites as they pop up on the screen here, and you'll see that Purple Guy is smiling every single time we see him. And this isn't just in one game, this is every single Purple Guy sprite ever. And in all of them, except for one, when he's being chased by the ghosts, he's smiling. In all of them. He's smiling or laughing. Not one, except for the ghost one, is he frowning. Now, MatPat, if Phone Guy and the Purple Guy are the same, then shouldn't Purple Guy be having a straight face or look upset instead of having a gleeful look on his face every single time we see him? Now, as for the distrust of the puppet, there's no real evidence to say whether the purple guy distrusts the puppet or not. We know from this recording that phone guy distrusts the puppet, but we don't know if purple guy does. I mean, we can assume, but you know what they say about assuming makes an ass out of you and me. The next piece of evidence that MatPat brings forward is the Save Them minigame. In the Save Them minigame, and the sprite for our good old purple guy will show up somewhere on the screen here. As you can see, there are two things that people always point out about this sprite. This and this. This is the badge, or what people are claiming is a security badge. This is what people claim to be a telephone. Now, the telephone is easily refuted. Think of the time period. Cell phones didn't exist in 1987 or around 1987, because this is supposed to be happening around the time the Bite of 87 happened. But even if it's not 1987, it'd be before then. Cell phones didn't exist in 1987. They had corded telephones. Now, what is this telephone missing? A cord. There's nothing going from purple guy to a wall or to a receiver. Which, if there were a string of purple line, going from purple guy to the end of the edge of the screen, I'd be more willing to accept this as a phone of some kind. But given the fact that there isn't a cord, that's making me say it's not a cell phone. It's not a phone at all. Now, what it is, I'm not certain, but it certainly is no telephone. Now, as for phone guy being the only one that knows where the safe room is and how to operate the spring lock suits, that's just plain not true. Listen to this audio tape from Five Nights at Freddy's 3. That audio tape is saying that people are not to loiter in the rooms. It is not a break room, people are not to loiter in them, and customers are not supposed to be taken back there. That tells me three things. That tells me, well, two main things. One, that every single employee of the original Fazbear's restaurant knew about this safe room. And potentially still knows of this safe room. And two, that customers have been taken back there. I can deduce this simply by the way Phone Guy talks. I mean, he makes it very clear that customers are not to be taken back there. And speaking as someone who is a leader in my Boy Scout troop, the only time you speak with that much authority is when it has happened before and you don't want it to happen again. Clearly customers have been taken, every employee of that restaurant knows, and customers have been taken back there. And let's take a minute just to think about this. Who else would know about these safe rooms? Well, let's see, every single person in management, so all of the higher-ups in the Fazbear business, the construction workers who built the place, the engineers who designed the place, the plumbers who put plumbing in it, the people who wired the place. I mean, just think, the people who built the restaurant know it's there. So he's clearly not the only person. There are, I'd be willing to say, hundreds of people who know about this location and know about the safe room. Now, as for him being the only one to know how to operate the spring lock suits, that's not true. What does Phone Guy say at the first night you actually hear him in Five Nights at Freddy's 3? He says this.
Hello. Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear people. These tapes will provide you with much needed information on how to handle/climb into/climb out of mascot costumes.
Did you hear that? He's talking about training tapes. These tapes were used to train other people in how the suits worked. He's not the only one that knows how to operate the suits. He's training other people how to operate them. It even says at the beginning of the audio clip. So, we know for a fact that Phone Guy is very, very, very clearly teaching other people how to operate the Springlock suits. So he's not the only one to know they operate them. We also know that there are at least 100 people, if not more, who know about the safe room. Now, I will cut MatPat this much slack. He is the only one we know of. He is the only person that we know that has both of those qualities. Although with a game like Five Nights at Freddy's, knowing someone doesn't mean anything. Now the next argument that MatPat brings is that he claims that, and this is one that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, that in this scene, that phone guy, who he is assuming is Purple Guy, temporarily forgot about the building being wet and moist, and so it's he forgot about that. And I would disagree. Phone Guy would have known prior to the ghosts coming into the room that there was water. He would have also known prior to the ghosts coming into the room that would have made the suit unsafe. Purple Guy, not so much. I'm willing to bet that Purple Guy barely knows how to operate the suits, meaning he's probably a trainee of Phone Guy. I would also wager the bet that Purple Guy did not know about the Springlock failures, so that's why he hopped in the suit so readily, even though it's very clearly raining outside. That is what I'm saying. That to me seems much more reasonable and much more real than Phone Guy just forgetting. Now that I've retorted against most of MatPat's arguments, I'm going to bring my own to the table. The first one's an explanation, then ends with a question. Then I have a few questions for MatPat, which MatPat, like I said, if you're watching first, thank you. Second, please respond to these comments. Anyone can respond to my questions in the comments below, or make a video about it. Maybe we could have a video debate or something, whatever. But anyways, here's the biggest thing to me that says that Phone Guy and Purple Guy cannot be the same. Their deaths, not just how they died, but where they died and the state of the building in which they died. Let's look at Purple Guy first. How does Purple Guy die? Where does he die? And what is the state of the building in which he dies? Well, as you can see from the graphic that's on the screen now, he dies in the safe room. We know the safe room's near the front of the building because we see these. These are boarded up doors, which answers the third question, the state of the building. This building, like MatPat said in his video, is decayed, old, not in use. This is a building that has been discontinued and isn't being used, and hasn't been used for 20-30 years. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that these minigames take place sometime during Five Nights at Freddy's 2, during 1987. So we know the building that Purple Guy died in was old and decayed and hadn't been used in years. We also know he died in the front of the building in the safe room. Now, how did he die? Well, as you guys see in this clip, he dies by hopping in the Springlock suit, and the Springlocks fail. So he dies via Springtrap in the front of the building in the safe room, and the building is old, decayed, and hadn't been used in 20-30 years. Now what about Phone Guy? Because if the two are the same, then Phone Guy's death and Purple Guy's death should be the same too, right? Well, unfortunately it doesn't look good for, well, either of them since they're both dead. But it doesn't look good for Matt's theory when you look at Phone Guy's death. Phone Guy dies on Night 4 in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Now here is the entire clip from Five Nights at Freddy's 1, Night 4.
I may not be around to send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me. I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you when I did. Hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you can check inside those suits in the back room. I'm going to try to hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. Yeah, I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there. You know. Oh no.
Now, using that clip, we can easily deduce who killed Purple Guy, who killed Phone Guy. If you've seen this already and you already know who killed him, then click on the annotation that pops up on the screen sometime around now, and it'll take you to when I'm done explaining it to those who don't know. For those of you who don't know, let's listen to the clip again. That banging that you hear means that the left door is closed, meaning that both Bonnie and Foxy cannot be the killers. You can hear the Tenedores March, which is the song that Freddy plays both in the kitchen and when you run out of power. We know that Phone Guy still has power because the left door is closed, meaning that Freddy is in the kitchen. That leaves one animatronic, Chica, and this is backed up by the fact that you can hear Chica's groan right when she's about to kill you on the later nights. Now yes, Bonnie does share this trait, but as we've already said, the left door is closed, meaning that Bonnie is not in the office. We know for a fact that Chica is the one who killed Phone Guy. Now where did Chica kill Phone Guy? In the office. That's pretty obvious. But here's the thing. The state of the building. How does the building look when you play in Five Nights at Freddy's 1? It sure as heck doesn't look new, but it's not boarded up either. There aren't rats running around on the floor. There are no holes in the ceiling. Yes, this is an old restaurant, but clearly, it's still in use. So let's take a look at Phone Guy versus Purple Guy. Phone Guy over here, Purple Guy over here. Phone Guy dies by Chica in the office in the first Five Nights at Freddy's while the building is still being used. Purple Guy. Now before I continue, in order for Phone Guy to be Purple Guy, these two must be 100% identical. Purple Guy dies by the spring-lock suits in the front safe room in a building that hasn't been used in 20 to 30 years. Those are two completely different lists. Everything about them is different. How they died, where they died, and the state of the building in which they died. Now for those of you who say, oh well, Phone Guy said he was going to try and hold out in the back room, so he obviously ran all the way there, well then I have a question. In the minigames, which are supposed to be reenacting the past, explain to me why the characters in the minigames are all in their proper places, and yet on night 4 of Five Nights 1, they're all about to kill our poor Phone Guy. Now that is the biggest piece of evidence to me that proves that Phone Guy and Purple Guy can't be the same guy. But there are a few questions I still have that I would love for any of you guys to answer for me. Why is it that in every minigame, the animatronic sprites barely change at all, yet Phone Guy goes through some pretty severe changes? So why does he change so often if it's the same person? Why is Purple Guy even in the safe room in the first place, since the location is clearly destroyed, nothing is left? And the final question I have is, how come you can't see the badge in any other minigame ever? Why does it only show up in the Save Them minigame? I mean, we see Purple Guy from that exact same angle a dozen different times over. But regardless of what anyone else says, I think it's pretty clear that Phone Guy and Purple Guy are two different guys. There's no way that they could be the same just looking at how they died. So MatPat, I love your videos. You're an amazing YouTuber. But I seriously have to question if you honestly spent days on this or not. Because like I said, this is an idea I had just watching your video. I came up with the idea, and not an hour later, found out it had validity. It was legit. Bottom line is, Phone Guy and Purple Guy are not the same. Anyways, that's all the time I got for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like it, then click that like and subscribe button down below. And I'll see you guys later. This is the All American Gamer, signing out. See you later.